Hey there everybody, Ryan Gossett here from the Pinnacle team at Compass in Chicago. This is my 2026 housing market predictions that I am coming to you with. It is part predictions and it is part advice for developing a overall strategy for approaching the housing market. If you happen to be somewhat dissatisfied with your housing situation, you do not necessarily have to be looking to move in 2026 for this video to be pertinent to you. You could be thinking about a 2027 or even a 2028 move, because the theme here is the person that gives themselves the most runway is going to win. I like to use the analogy of the marathon. There are a lot of people every year that decide to run the marathon in Chicago in October. I find that people that train for that race fall into three camps. There are the people that are super conservative and they give themselves 2 years to train for the event. They run consistently every week. They slowly amp up their distances and they do really well. They tend to run the race with the least amount of pain. Then you've got the camp that starts in January or February. They have a 10-month training program. That is the one I did when I ran the marathon in 2023. It does get you through the race, but everybody that I've talked to that uses that plan does experience a lot of pain in those last 4 to 6 miles. That was my experience. And then you've got the third camp, and those are the people that put off their training until May, June, or even July. They train really hard, really fast. Many of them may finish the race. They are in a lot of pain while they're doing it. And this is a direct analogy to the housing market. Those buyers and sellers that wait until the pain is bubbling and their anger level is so high to then jump in and try to execute a move really fast, it is, unless they are really lucky, and most of them are not, they end up in a lot of pain. They end up making bad decisions. They spend too much money, or they leave too much money on the table when selling. And then, because they're unhappy, they end up moving again in a few years, and then the home they bought didn't appreciate enough to absorb the transactional costs, so they end up with a net loss financially on the entire process. Do not be that buyer or seller. What I want you to do is to give yourself a lot of runway. Reach out to me or an agent that you know and trust as soon as possible. Let them know what's on your mind. Let them know what is making you unhappy about where you live and what your dreams and hopes are that would make you and or your family satisfied with your housing situation, and then let them guide you through the process. If they don't have much to offer, if they're not diving into you and digging into your pain points, then you may be talking to the wrong person. Make sure you choose a good real estate broker. Get started as soon as possible. The key in Chicago in 2026, and I can't imagine it's going to be different in 27 or 28, is demand is going to be high and supply is going to be low. In this market, we are notoriously bad at delivering inventory to the marketplace. So you've got to be patient. And you got to know what you want. And the only way that you're going to know what you want is to get out there and see homes. You're going to have to see a bunch of homes that you think you are definitely not going to buy, so that you can have the perspective you need to make a really good purchase decision. So that's a really important thing that I encourage my buyer clients to do, is to dedicate time every week, even if it's just an hour, to go hit 2 or 3 open houses at any price point around what their budget is, and just see what's out there. Try out some different neighborhoods. Really gain perspective so that you can use your 3 decision centers in your body to make a really solid decision when you see the home that's going to be perfect for you. The buyers that also do really well are going to be the ones that have a vision for improving the aesthetics of the home they buy. Because on the sell side, when you are a seller, making a home ready to go, really beautiful by today's standards, those are the homes that are easy to sell, and those are the ones that are going to have 20 buyers trying to buy that home at the same time, which is going to drive that price way up. I'm not saying buyers shouldn't buy those homes, but they should know that they're paying a premium for the ability to just move in. So if you want to cheat the market a little bit and give yourself an opportunity to increase your value right out of the gate, you want to buy the home, if you can, that has a great location, a really good layout, but maybe has those 2000s or early 2010s finishes. And then make the improvements yourself, because you're going to be competing with less buyers to buy those homes. So that's a really good strategy if that's one that you have the time and money to embark on. And that brings me to my final point. People with the most money in the bank are going to win because they have more options. They don't necessarily have to sell the home they're in to buy a home, or they're going to be able to make a cash offer that's not contingent on them getting a mortgage. That is just the advantage that comes along with having more money. It doesn't mean that if you have a 5 or 10% down payment that you can't be productive in the housing market, but you definitely need someone like myself that can help you navigate the market with that situation being true. If you want help navigating the real estate market in 2026 or even 27 or 28, please reach out to me as soon as possible so that we can start a dialogue, build a rapport, see if we'd be good for working together, and then I can help you navigate the housing market with care and make really good housing decisions. If you happen to not be in Chicago and you're seeing this video, I network weekly with agents around the country. I do not network with agents that I don't trust. So what I'd like to do is get to know you a little bit, and then I will talk to some of the agents I know in the market where you want to be, and I will help select an agent that will treat you with the same level of care that I would if you were in Chicago. Again, my name is Ryan Gossett. I'm with the Pinnacle team at Compass in Chicago, and I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and we'll talk soon.